ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes. I'm Matt Burns.
And I am absolutely fucking amazing.
I did wonder when the dragon was going to come into play.
I am also the pain in the vein of Matt Burns' forehead.
I'm glad you stopped and said forehead.
Well, I'm kind of glad I did myself, actually, because I've already broke the sweater, so, I just thought go for the double, but then I thought, nah, who wants double? Calm down.
No, I love it.
Calm down.
I am calm. I am calm.
Silly little man.
Little? I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I was you.
Well, okay, you said it.
Anyway, I am James Irvine. I am the better half of the Burning Truth. So mind. I just thought I'd put no. Let's just keep this clean now because we know it'll get filthy
later.
No, not later. You just didn't get that joke then, did you?
I got it.
No, you didn't. Well, screw you, care.
Quoting South Park again.
Anyway, I am going to get this watershed out of the way before we start talking rude.
I was going to say general nonsense.
Yeah, well, I'd call it something else, but the watershed hasn't been done.
Exactly,
and
I've
already broken the swear barrier.
You have a little bit, but the difference is we've got like a little bit of a label on it beforehand, so we're covered on little bits. So
that and it could be misinterpreted as me saying 4 kings.
Exactly.
See.
Anyway. See what you did there.
So, without further ado, I bring to you the Sunday Watershed.
Yes.
6 p.m. Watershed, actually.
Yes.
The following broadcast may contain language, opinions, and topics that may not be suitable for younger listeners or for those that are easily offended. However, I do believe that Wizardora is much easier on the eyes and ears. How are you liking these retro ones?
You've got to go retro from time to time, and it could actually go into like a nice little theme, couldn't it?
Wizardora. If I hear that and it gets stuck in my head, I know for a fact that I will not be alive next week.
I'll be blaming you.
Ah, dear. So, you know how you were saying to me before the show that you were worried that something was going to happen because it is a certain special occasion that is arising on Tuesday.
No.
No. So, can I just ask you, have you got your phone available, Mr. Burns?
I do.
Right, okay. So, I have something for you. Can you make sure that you put it on loud, please?
Let me just, I believe we've actually even had a comment.
Okay, read the comment as I just send you this.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It's just one of them false advertising comments.
Right. Okay. So I have just sent you a little video. I want you to play it, but I want you to play it so everyone can hear it.
If my phone goes off loudly, apologies if there's any calls, because I was not expecting this.
But just make sure that you turn it up very loud so everyone can hear it, including myself.
I'm dreading this already.
Come on, Mr. Burns.
I've got it on as loud as possible, but I've also got it minimized so it's only the media. So if any calls comes through now, it shouldn't happen.
Okay, then go on.
Matt Burns, guess what? I know it's your birthday. Well, so I believe it's your birthday, because I've not heard it from anybody whatsoever, including yourself. Apparently, you're 34, but somebody in the States disagrees. You look a bit older than that, mate. So without further ado, I bring to you your birthday message. Enjoy. Yo, Matt Burns. Matty Burns. Matthew Burns. Guess who, bro?
Oh my God.
Vince Russo. I hear there's a little illegality going on, bro. I hear you're considering me as being the mastermind behind your own wrestling career. Matty, I don't know you. I know nothing about you, Matty. Now, I know you turned 35 on June 29th. I know you don't want to spend, bro, the next 50 years in prison by considering me the mastermind behind you and behind UKWA and behind The Burning Truth, a podcast you modeled after the brand. Now, Matt, I have every right to go to the authorities and press charges, throw your scrawny little ass in the can. But you know what, Matt? I am very humbled, bro. I am very thankful that you consider me the mastermind behind your career. I take that with great pride. So, Matt, represent me well. Represent the brand well. You got my blessing, bro, to do whatever the hell you want to do. And last but not least, bro, happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, dude. Are you alright there? Are you alright there, mate?
How do I go from there? Where do I go from there?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that Matt Burns is currently very starstruck.
Holy. I'm so glad you that one shit out the way, you fucker.
What was that?
You fucking twat. Oh, good lord. I think you're going to play that next year as well. Because then it'll actually match up.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I fucking knew it.
You knew what?
I fucking knew something was coming up, you fucking twat! I don't know. Half of me wants to fucking rage and hunt your ass down and murder you. And the other half of me is fucking impressed. Holy shit. You know what?
Well,
I'm gonna have to put that on the YouTube channel now, you bastard, on my birthday, aren't I?
Well, I'm just going to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do
I'm
it.
just going to say to everyone. I'm just going to say to anybody that if they wish to see the actual message itself, it is actually currently just being added to our Facebook on the Burning Truth
It's just been
Facebook
added.
page. Yeah, it's just been added. It'll be uploaded within the next few seconds.
Well then,
You know
thank
why?
you. You know what? Because you were going to do it anyway. I'm happy that you've done that actually. So you just saved me a job there.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's just it's me, isn't it? So you know. But if you do want to watch it, it will be uploaded very, very shortly. I'm just currently waiting for it to.
I'm just thinking of ways to murder you, but also reward you for such an impressive bloody fucking prank.
Don't you threaten me with a good time, young man. Or should I say old man?
Holy shit! Did it?
Bro, you just got called out by Vince Russo. What the fuck? Who'd have thunk it?
That makes it even worse. And this is gonna make.
Worse.
Oh no! This what's gonna make you laugh even more. All yesterday, on my Facebook, when I've been going through Facebook, I kept seeing adverts for Cameo.
Oh dear.
And I was sitting there thinking to myself, what's gonna go on here? You just had this birthday message. I'll be honest with you. Oh, good lord.
Have I outdone myself? I think I have,
Outdone
haven't I?
yourself. I'm fucking speechless.
Well, clearly I had a little bit of help, a lot of help, but
Doesn't
you
matter.
know,
It
it
doesn't
takes
matter.
it's always a joint effort, and I enjoyed it immensely.
Like I
Do
said
you
to you,
know? Do you know how long I have been sitting on that?
I have no idea. I was gonna ask.
About a month, maybe 2 months. I know it's definitely over a month actually. But how annoying is that, eh? Fucking hell, it's been so frustrating that all your friends knew about it. You didn't.
To put this mildly, like I said earlier, half of me is absolutely enraged, and the other half is massively impressed.
But you know, you've modelled your entire career.
What makes it even more funny is you've out Russo'd Russo.
Go on.
You swerved. You double swerved. You swerved me, and you swerved me.
Well, you see, if you hear rustling at the moment, I'm just having a snacky snack because all that laughing has picked up my appetite. But you know,
I am
who'd
massively
have thunk that
impressed.
I could out Vince Russo?
I am.
Well,
more,
it's actually on the Facebook website now. It's on on our Facebook
I'm
page.
telling you this now. The more I think about it, the more I'm impressed by it.
Oh dear!
My hand is
something?
almost constantly over my mouth, which is not great for bloody doing a bloody broadcast.
Well, I was going to say, can you uncover your mouth? Because it sounds like you've got a dick in your mouth at the moment.
It,
Well,
how would you react to?
again, Matt Burns is speechless. We've been live for about 16 minutes, would you say? And
Yeah.
yeah, for the last 6 to 7 minutes, he's been absolutely
Do you know what makes it even worse? I knew
you
something.
thought something was coming.
I knew something was coming. I knew something. I knew it.
Now, this is the truth, that before the show, he was like, why do I get the feeling that something's going to happen? And I just, you know, I just lured him into a false sense of security. What are you on about? Why are you being so paranoid, Mr. Burns? And I just started changing the conversation, the subject, and he bought it. And that's how you end up with stuff like that.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah. Took a detour on that one, didn't I, bitch?
I'm just.
Is that speechless if you got the ding?
Speechless. Understatement.
Oh, well, I'm not the only one that loved it by the look of it.
And how many 8 dings have I missed?
Just the one. It amazes me that it was your idea to get the ding whilst I provide the dong, and yet every single time it comes for the ding, you forget the ding, but I never forget the dong.
Look, but and that's what she said. But it makes it even worse. I even had it to hand.
What, the dong? I don't want to know.
No, the ding. I actually had the bell in literally being able to do it, but I was in that much fucking shock.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Burns is trying to say that he had his bell in hand and he couldn't do it because he was in shock.
You bitch.
Oh, ding dong. But anyway, you've had your little gift of somebody that you love and admire. So I think we should move on now to some topics before people just get bored and move on.
The problem is, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, your brain, I'm now, bear this in mind, we don't do this scripted. I'm actually trying to...
scripted.
Well, your plan was, yeah. But the problem is, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, where the hell we were to do with the show, Mark? I've just lost all bloody... I feel like I'm off a Lee Evans joke. I don't even know where I am.
Oh dear, brilliant. So yes, we have just covered you with some brilliant wrestling content there. Basically, Vince Russo has just jizzed all over Matt Burns' fucking career.
VFR.
Oh, loved it. It was the best thing ever.
I'm gonna have to ask you something after the show.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to ask you how the hell you got all the fine details arranged and everything, because I just need to know how long this has been planned for, what went into it and everything, because I'm not impressed.
Well, let's just put it this way. It didn't take very long to come up with the script, and it didn't take very long for him to actually do it. Normally, it takes a couple of weeks to get a response, and it came the next morning.
Wow.
And as much as we both dislike Vince Russo, I have to take my hat off to Vince Russo for that one, because it was the best thing I have seen wrestling-wise for a long time.
I'm going to have to say this now. He is no longer known as VFR.
Go on.
He is fully up to Vince Russo, and what makes it even weirder is the fact that he hasn't just impressed me once this week now. He's impressed me damn twice.
Well, there you go.
And I know exactly what you're thinking. He's done it twice. What's the second one? We'll cover that in some of the wrestling topics that we're going to be covering today.
Well, I have been trying to push you, but you're still in shock.
Right, I believe we were about to do what we normally advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Were we? Right.
Yes, exactly. So, without further ado, we bring to you our support net. What did you call it? A support net? No, not a support network. No.
What? Who we
advocate? I'm talking bollocks.
No. Yeah. Well, actually, it is a sort of support network. It's something that we're in full support of. We are advocates of both of these topics, which is the first one being, of course, Black Lives Matter.
You remember there's 3 now.
Yes, I remember you covering them. You covered the other 2. Remember?
Yes. There's 3, but you said 2.
Apologies for that. It's 3 then. No, you know what? I agree for that. Thanks very much for the correction. So it is 3, and yeah, Black Lives Matter. We're in full support of.
We're also advocates for #speaking out, and we're in full support of the LGBTQ+ community.
Yes, that we are.
Not because we just want to be jumping on the bandwagon, because that's not the case at all. Not just because we know people that are part of these communities and these groups. Got nothing to do with it at all. It's because we see something and we think it's right, so we support it and we stick by it.
That we do.
So there you go. Eat my ass. I've got a giant wooden spoon that you can do it with.
Timing.
Lovely.
Timing. I almost was about to scream out context, but I thought best not, because that could be open a whole.
No,
door.
just stop. Just stop, and just think about what you're going to say before you say it, because you know an innuendo will come out of it.
That's why I pretty much just stopped then.
Yes, exactly. So yes, we've done that little bit. Now let's move on.
We'll move on to the blog, or should we say vlog?
Not Matt Burns' log.
Which it hasn't been for quite some time.
Which is good, because it's nice to see your pretty little face.
Yay! But yeah, seeing as it's been, as it was mentioned on the vlog, it's been, 2 or 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Because someone decided to go out of order.
I didn't decide to go out of order at all. It's just not my fault that things happen.
I never actually said you directly. I was going to say, I could have said fate, destiny, but you just took it on. You just pretty much just accepted it.
Yeah, but there's only one other person that does the vlogs with you, and I think it's a bit obvious, Mr. Burns.
Excellent.
But
anyway, the point being is,
Smithers.
In case anybody wants to know, it was a nice little blog I did. I thought I'd give some shout outs we haven't done in a while. And of course, also talk about Tuesday, which imagine if I'd known that was coming. what you just fired at me on the broadcast with the whole message.
Well, just remember what I put on Twitter not long ago. Irvine doesn't fire blanks. I make sure that they are fully loaded and very devastating.
Even on his own co-hosts.
Just imagine what I could do to somebody that I don't like.
Good God!
Good God! Good God!
That man has a family! I am so glad I wasn't having a drink then, because I believe my equipment for the broadcast would have been absolutely wrecked.
Yes, his equipment. He would have been
broadcasting equipment, I said.
It's a bit like the whole wrestling ring thing. Every single time now when we say in the ring, all we hear Matt Burns in the background go, "No, what are you doing? Stop it, it's wrestling ring."
Or just throw in the word wrestling.
Stop sexualizing wrestling. I'm sorry, but Vince McMahon did that many, many years ago.
With his genetic jackhammer.
With his genetic jackhammer and his grapefruits.
Right. Well, we mentioned the blog. Now, let's get on to some wrestling content. And because of what's just happened, I'm gonna have to jump into that topic already. Aren't I?
Yes.
Because it just segues naturally into it.
Yes.
Because, quite frankly, we all know that WWE Raw has been absolutely gutter trash.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince Russo has even taken pot shots at some of the segments that have been happening on Raw.
Yeah.
One of them involving Mansoor, Jackson Riker, and that's not how you spell Jackson, or Riker.
Yeah.
And of course, I believe Ali. Prince Ali. No, we're not going to go down that road. All I'm going to say is his exact words were, that was play school acting. Whoever the writer was should have been abysmally ashamed.
Yep.
And the scary thing about it is, he's right. Because when you've got Mansoor asking Riker for advice while he is slapping himself with a strap. Yes, I know, you're just now screaming out in your head, context.
Yes, context.
A leather strap, I know, again, context. But I'm not kidding, he was actually doing it. Simply because he was advertising a strap match against Elias next week.
Yes. Now, again, the whole thing, when we say context...
Yeah.
Can we please have some context? We are getting none.
Yeah. The idea being is, the only context that we can get from it is if you've been... and I think this is the only time that WWE has thought that people might have followed it for more than 2 weeks, maybe even 3, is the fact that Elias keeps walking out of his match against Jackson Riker. And that's it.
I just that makes more sense to me than this situation.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he stormed off. Let's have a strap match because I'm so angry with you. Oh, please stop insulting our intelligence. Even kids can see that this is bullshit.
How about you just get him to move the fuck on?
Yep. This is the thing now, because obviously we've got this with the strap match, but we've also now got our former WWE champion being jobbed out.
Yep.
We've also got Bobby Lashley, our current WWE champion, literally thrashing the whole division, as well as Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And
bearing in mind that he also pummeled the crap out of Xavier Woods in a Hell in a Cell match, a night after being in a Hell in a Cell match, not selling any conditioning from his match against Drew.
Exactly. So, what makes sense here? Oh, wait. I know. Nothing. Nothing makes sense here. Why does it make no sense?
Because it doesn't make
no
sense.
fucking sense.
Makes no fucking sense.
Where's my can of fucking monster, you absolute smelly little prick?
Pretty much.
It's like, what more can you say? Pretty much.
It is. It's just...
So, yeah, nothing makes sense at all. It's like I say, everything is back to front and all wishy-washy with WWE. SmackDown, well, even NXT starting to show cracks. Signs of cracks.
Ooh.
I mean, it's just getting a bit silly now. I mean, look at Bobby Lashley for starters. Right, I'll start with Bobby Lashley. Who has he got left to feud with now that Drew McIntyre's out the picture?
Hi, Kofi.
Answers on a postcard.
Kofi Kingston.
But it's not a legitimate fucking challenge, is it? I'm not being funny but you saw what Brock Lesnar did to Kofi Kingston to win the title in the first place.
Yeah.
So Drew McIntyre wins it. Drew McIntyre's lost it twice.
Yeah. And hasn't won a Hell in a Cell match ever.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that could be something that could be built on if the creative writing team knew what the fuck they were doing.
Or they might just DQ his next match.
It's something called continuity. Use it, people. Use it. We like continuity in wrestling. We like a good storyline. We don't just like watching people beating the crap out of each other. We actually genuinely like storytelling. Please tell a story that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, but then again, we could probably explain why it probably doesn't make sense a bit later, because that's almost a nice segue into one of the other topics, but that's a bit later.
Yeah, but I still want to talk about what, why,
I'm
think
agreeing.
that they are going wrong with the current fucking shows, the current matches.
I'm agreeing with you on this. And the scary thing about it is, that's almost a nice segue into one of the other topics that we've got. But we're not going to rush into that one, because that one is going to be a whole...
Bigger than Vince Russo cutting a promo on a certain Matt Burns.
I'm never going to forget that.
Well, you've got no fucking choice. You're not going to be able to forget it, because it's going to be there permanently in your face every single time. Even next year when you actually do turn 35.
Oh, no. What makes it worse is, I think if even someone somehow miraculously made it vanish, it will still haunt me. Because it's almost like you've left me a scar on me, a deep mental scar onto me.
Well, it couldn't be any worse than that physical scar. But, let's not talk about that one. It was a Friday night. We were drunk. It happened.
I have no memory. Anyway.
Exactly. You weren't meant to.
Anyway, the point being is, the quality of the writing has absolutely been horrible.
Abysmal. It's not just like the higher tier matches. The mid card is suffering worse than the main event.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Because now it's like you've had a mid card match where Drew had to lose.
Yeah.
Who was it that he had a match with?
Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle, that was it.
By the way, did you notice anything then? You didn't notice anything then, did you?
No.
I use his full name.
Yeah, it's no longer Riddle, it's Matt Riddle.
Again.
Why? Because Riddle makes no sense and it was fucking ridiculous. Stop doing things that are stupid. Anyway, so the big card is suffering. We had Matt Riddle versus Bobby Lashley not long ago.
Yep.
And are we going to be having it again? Because every single time that Matt Riddle or Kofi Kingston is going to step in front of Bobby Lashley, they're going to get absolutely fucking annihilated. Because Vince loves Bobby Lashley. He loved him when he was, back in, what was it, 2004, 5, 6?
And bear this in mind, the one thing I will say that was refreshing on Raw is that the normal mainstays of the upper division, that would normally be the favourites, ended up losing, if I'm not mistaken. That would have been AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Drew, who are now all in a last chance to get into the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, that's true. Can I just stop a second? Because it sounded like you had a very horny Frenchman in your room.
No.
I'm assuming that someone is watching football.
Yes.
I'm assuming that would be your father.
Yes.
Why does your father's laugh sound like he's a horny Frenchman?
I have no idea.
All I heard in the background was, oh, ho, 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 ho.
Or you can turn around and say a badly dubbed M. Bison.
Yes, very much. Anyway, let's carry on with it. Let's carry on with the narrative because it just didn't sound right that he sounded like a horny Frenchman.
or the typical M. Bison from the Street Fighter movie.
Oh God, that was terrible.
It was so bad it was good though.
Yeah, it was so bad that it was good in a terrible way. That made sense. That didn't make sense. That really hurt my rectum.
And I bet you were too busy watching Kylie Minogue's Cammy.
I did no such thing.
You lie.
Liar. Anyway, come on.
Anyway,
come on.
Back onto it. The problem is I know that Vince wants some special stipulations happening almost every week, which we've gathered, but why?
It's too much.
Why? Because bear this in mind that we had a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown, first ever, yay! Then we had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where we had 2 Hell in a Cell matches, yay! And then we got another Hell in a Cell match on the...
Yeah, I was about to say, because you had the SmackDown one, then you had the Hell in a Cell event itself.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be having another one.
And you had another one.
It just... Why? Why are we doing this?
Which, by the way, I will give props to Xavier Woods for the springboard elbow drop through the table on Bobby Lashley. Didn't think he was going to make it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Didn't think he was going to make it. Didn't think he was going to have the leap.
All I'm going to say is, I'm not saying that these matches aren't full of high risk spectacles, because there are some typically great moments. Even in matches with Brock Lesnar and all the shite that he's done when he was going on that massive long Universal title run and what have you, it's just, ugh. But in some of the matches, there were some really, really decent parts of it. But what I'm saying is that it's not so much the ability of the athletes themselves or the actual in-ring work. It's the storytelling that's terrible and the continuity. It just really doesn't make sense. And this is why when I look at Raw, I think, do I want to be putting myself through 3 hours of fucking torture? Would I rather go and boot myself into an endoscopy unit and have a tube shoved up my bum with a camera on the end of it than watch 3 hours of fucking Raw? Yes, I would. I would rather have a jumbo-sized enema rather than watch Raw at the moment. And this is why I sway to AEW, because they're getting all the T's and Z's and everything right. You know, they're getting everything right at the moment for me. But that's for me. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
No, I agree. No, I absolutely agree. They seem to be doing a lot of things right. And I know a lot of people who are going to be sitting there saying, but you're just a bunch of AEW fans. You know, you don't want to follow WWE.
We're not, though. We're not. We genuinely aren't. This is the thing. I love AEW because it reminds me so much of the Attitude Era. And, you know, one of the greatest eras to ever grace our TV screens. But it's not perfect. I get that, obviously, with the Sparkler match and other bits and bobs, which you know we've covered in the past
it's not
anyway.
Perfect.
But it's not perfect, but it's still a really, really good product.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the game that they're going to be bringing out. I've seen bits of Darby Allin being played, and
Wow.
I'm looking forward to that game because it looks absolutely amazing. It looks like how a WWE game should look.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
It's like the whole Tony Khan situation when you've had loads of WWE fans saying, "Oh, Tony Khan's in the red, like you know he spent too much money, blah blah blah." The man is a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire.
And I'm going to say this: this is how far they're going to go with the whole, you know, with the trying to aim at AEW. Because I believe they've even used the AEW, you know, and made an acronym, or just used the letters to make out, you know, it doesn't stand for All Elite Wrestling. It stands for All ex-WWE.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though, about WWE fans that are very fickle. It's like football. Everyone's so territorial about this shit. It's really pathetic. Why can't you just be a fan of every single one? What is wrong with you?
Why not be a fan of wrestling?
Our desire is to literally have Impact be great, WWE be great, WWE be great,
ROH.
AEW be great, ROH, New Japan, even though New Japan is just great.
Oh, yeah.
New Japan is just great. They've got some great talent over there.
Oh, agreed.
But, you know, it's just like, why are we doing this?
And even on the UK scene.
It's very tribal. It's very school orientated, where it's like, oh, I don't want to go to that school because they're all scumbags from that school. They're 2 minutes down the road, you dickhead, and they fucking live in the same area as you. So why are they scumbags? You know, come on, get a grip.
Yeah.
Get a fucking grip.
And as much as it sounds like we are dissing WWE, it's just
we're pointing out the flaws that need correcting. But at the moment, there are a lot of flaws in WWE. A lot. Too many.
And it's worrying.
Many. It is worrying because it seems to me that something that we grew up with and loved very dearly growing up is now being turned inside out by lazy hiring, lazy writing, and just poor money management.
Yeah.
If it is the case that they are struggling for funds, hence why they've released so many wrestlers. Then,
because they're actually being sued, remember?
Well, yeah, and they've been sued, rightly so. But, you know, it just, I don't know, man. It's very worrying because I don't know about you, but when it comes to wrestling, I don't like change.
It's not just
I
about
don't like
having
change.
change. I don't mind some change, like if you're going to be pushing a new star.
Yeah, but it's got to be positive to it. That's positive change. But when it's change that you know that it doesn't look right and it's not going to be. Do you remember the whole Tough Enough competition?
Which one? Because there's been different formats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But only one or two of them worked.
Do you know it's even weirder? And this is an interesting factor on Tough Enough. You do know that only one of them who actually won it is actually still around.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
And all the ones who failed ended up doing longer than the others. And here's a little thing. Do you know who, out of the current roster, is the only winner to still be around?
Ask me another question.
John Morrison?
John Morrison.
John Morrison is the only one who actually
But even he disappeared, though, for a while.
Yep.
Even he disappeared for a while to literally come back, and literally his new reign has been like a fart in the wind.
Yep. And are you ready for this one? Do you know who the other Tough Enough competitor was, who was a runner-up?
Go on.
The Miz.
Oh, God, do you remember his awful in-ring gear when he first came up?
Did you ever...
When he made his debut.
Are you ready for this? Do you remember his first appearance when he butchered doing the Diva Search?
Oh, God, it was terrible.
That makes it even more funny. It is terrible, but that's how he met his future wife. Well, his now wife.
Good for him. Now fuck off my TV screen. You absolute talentless hack.
Well, he is going to be going away for a short bit, if I'm not mistaken, because he wants to
Yay!
go into a new certain film.
No. He doesn't know martial arts. It's not fair.
I know. I know.
God's
That's what makes it so.
sake.
That's what makes
God's
it so
sake.
bad.
Even Stone Cold could do a better fucking job. And he's about as flexible as a stiff plank at the moment. Can you imagine him trying to do like the Johnny Cage fucking split? His balls would end up in his neck.
All I heard was.
Fucking hell. Just shoot me now. If you're wondering what we're talking about Mortal Kombat. Johnny Cage. I hate you, The Miz. If you get it, I will never, ever, ever forgive you for anything ever again. Doesn't matter how good you do it, I will never forgive you. You're not Johnny Cage. You're not Johnny Cage. And I repeat this with great passion. You are not Johnny Cage. Not. So anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Which was to do with Raw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, not just Raw, SmackDown too. It's just...
Well, it's not just SmackDown, it's also NXT. Because even the segments where that requires... Right, the issue I have with NXT is the Diamond Mine stuff, fine. The main event picture scene, the Samoa Joe stuff, mwah, French kiss.
Even though I did watch the Karrion Kross scene, and that made me love Samoa Joe even more. And exactly. I'm really pissed off and disappointed that he didn't go to fucking AEW, because I think he would have been treated better there.
But at the moment, I don't think he's well enough to wrestle at the moment. But at least they're giving him something that is allowing him to keep his credibility in such a good, strong standard, which Which is from the mind of Triple H. We know that.
Well, it's only the mind of Triple H because he knows Samoa Joe can do the fucking job, but they want to let him go in the first place because he was doing really well on the commentary. But then again, if I was Samoa Joe, I wouldn't want to be commentating on that pile of fucking shit.
Well, bear in mind that when he got released, Triple H was pretty much blowing a gasket.
I fucking would be as well. If I was Triple H, I'd be literally trying to put my fucking foot right up Vince McMahon's arse.
I think that's what ended up happening, and why we got him back.
Good.
Anyway.
But we haven't covered SmackDown. We haven't covered SmackDown yet. Anyway, you jumped straight from Raw to NXT.
No, because it's in order. You'll see why in a minute. The issue I have with NXT is the fact that when it comes to some of the backstage segments, if you're going to be hitting somebody...
Hit them.
Yeah. Because there's two people who come to mind right now. I believe one of them is Cameron Grimes. If you're going to do a Superman punch because someone's upset your idol...
I hate that move. I hate that move. Oh my God, I hate it so much.
No. His version was just... He looked like he looked him a bop on the nose. And the guy looked like he'd been punched to death. Right, so complete oversell.
I've got a massive problem with people that oversell things because it just makes it even less believable.
Unless you're Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam against Hulk Hogan, then it's fucking hilarious.
Well, yeah, that was just hilarious. But that was because he was being a dick at that phase.
Oh no. We'll make that our moment, which we'll discuss a bit more on why that happened. I even know the why behind it.
Yeah, well, don't forget the Triple H oversell as well.
Oh, that's even better. Now, anyway.
And The Rock.
Oh, yeah. Always on the stunner. But anyway, point being is the other one, I believe it's Tony Atlas, is it? Or is it not Tony Atlas? What's I'm just trying to remember the gentleman's name in NXT.
Oh, he's a gentleman now, is he?
I was trying to be professional. Well, anyway, his last name is Atlas. There's a segment where you got a guy standing over somebody, and he's like, yeah, and he come in, hit the worst, most shocking kick I have ever seen, and the guy looked like he'd been shot out of a cannon, and then he turns around to the camera, well, it looks like I'm ready to join the fight. I'm like...
No, you're not.
Fuck off!
Well, what annoys me the most is that we currently actually have finishers that look very weak at the moment. And another thing as well about WWE, which really irritates me more than anything in the world, is nobody's finisher is protected.
Yeah, a finisher isn't
and
a finisher
also,
anymore.
Nobody's gimmick is protected anymore. Enter Nikki Cross. Or should I say Hurricane Helms? Or should I say Rosie?
It's not Hurricane Helms, and we'll get to that because I believe Hurricane Helms even put his 2 cents on it.
I bet he did. I bet it was fucking 2 cents just to fucking pay for the costume. It looks that cheap and nasty. And
what makes it even worse is the fact that it might have not have been the writer's idea. It might have actually been Nikki Cross's.
Well, if it was Nikki Cross's idea, then somebody seriously needs to tell her what works and what fucking doesn't, because it doesn't work.
And she's not a superhero. She acknowledges that.
She just sounds like... Oh, don't mind. Anyway, I just wanted...
I know. But that could be a nice segue in, man, because we've got to jump over to a boy. You mentioned talk about a boyfriend shortly.
Well, I want to talk about another thing that didn't make sense.
Go on.
It does and it doesn't. Obviously, the only thing I like on NXT at the moment, I'll just speak about this for a moment, is the only thing that I like about NXT at the moment is Ted DiBiase and the whole Cameron Grimes thing
and
the $1 million belt. and LA Knight. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I'm glad to see the million. And the man takes a good bump for his age.
Yeah, he does.
Jesus Christ. Some people have been saying, let's just put these rumours to bed because it has been fucking confirmed anyway. That no, Ted DiBiase Jr. will not be coming back.
No, he has retired.
He retired the time that he realised that WWE were going to be screwing around with him.
And on top of that, from what we've seen on other stuff of outside of his life, he's actually happy and content.
Yeah, exactly. So why would he want to come back?
If he does come back,
no
then I'm just hoping it's for the right reasons and not just for the money.
I will admit though, I am gutted that he left because I think he had something good going with Cody Rhodes.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. And the weird thing about it is, not many people could play not many people could play the situation that he did with being the $1 Million Man's son and get over so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. He was over like Rover.
No, I agree with that.
But anyway, that's the only thing I like about NXT at the moment. And no, Ted DiBiase Jr. will not be coming back. He's even said so himself. So don't get your hopes up. It's not going to happen. Even though I am a bit gutted about it because I did actually quite like him with Cody Rhodes. So, it is a bit of a shame. But there you go. That's wrestling for you. And that's life. If you're not happy doing it, then don't do it. And he's got his own business now outside. Hats off to him. But
However, last topic on NXT, and this is actually a positive one.
What, the last one wasn't?
No, the one I'm about to cover now as well.
Come on then.
Because it's actually going to go quite well for us. Because I believe that there's been pictures of Harlan Bravado with Triple H at NXT. Because he has signed a contract.
Right.
And is most likely going to be debuting soon.
And
Harlan Bravado is somebody who we've actually interviewed on The Burning Truth. And is an absolute general awesome talent, who I will say. And for someone his size, damn, he can move.
Well, all I can say is good luck to you. Gutted I wasn't there to interview you, but okay. Well done.
No, to be honest with you, I'll never forget when I actually got the chance to interview myself. Genuinely, which I will say I still don't know how the hell that happened.
Yeah, but sometimes it's nice to know that you've actually carried that on until when I started joining you on The Burning Truth, is that you still like the random activities, and that's what I like to do, and that's what I like to hear and see.
Yeah. But one thing I will say...
Shit just happens. To quote Simon Miller, and I do this quite a lot, is that stuff just happens.
Just happens.
But on The Burning Truth, shit just happens.
No, but the one thing I will say is, with Harlan Bravado, is the fact that when I say he is one of the most genuine people, and believe me, I felt as though when I was doing the interview with him, I'm sitting there in absolute shock I managed to get the interview. But he's one of the most realist people he doesn't just do it just for the fame and money. You can tell he does it for fans. He loves the fans. The fact that he even mentions about handwriting notes to his fans that have actually ordered merchandise from him. And everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And he mentions doing car journeys in America, where he was doing almost like a 22-hour drive to a show to do a 15-minute match to then do that 22-hour drive back.
See, now this is the problem that he's going to have now, because now that he's going to be signing for NXT, or already signed for NXT, he's going to be a lot more popular, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to do things like that now. And he will know that, but once you're signed under a WWE contract, you know for a fact that your hands are tied. Them 24-hour drives or 22-hour drives won't be happening because you won't be doing house shows for anybody else. You are currently a WWE freelance worker.
See what you did
Freelance.
there. No, an independent worker.
An independent contractor.
That's the word.
So you're not going to be able to do stuff like that anymore. You're just going to be wrestling for WWE, and that's it. You can't do anymore, unlike AEW, where you can still wrestle at different places. This is why I love AEW.
Actually, no.
It gives the opportunity for wrestlers to actually earn extra income outside of wrestling, setting them up for the future.
True, but at the same time, if this has been a goal of his, then all the best to him. I hope nothing but the best.
I am not shit. I would not deny anybody. Like I say, I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of all wrestling. Just not ones where you've got a match between a man and a woman for a cat. But, you know, I'm a fan of all wrestling that makes fucking sense.
Subtle.
Did you see that flying brick?
I don't even think that was a brick. It's more like a grenade.
I think that was a fucking javelin, wasn't it?
Pretty much.
Anyway, so I'm a fan of all wrestling, so I've got no qualms with him living the dream. Who wouldn't? It's the ultimate goal for any wrestler to wrestle for WWE. If you can make it that far, then
or one of the big companies.
Or one of the big companies, but your main one's always going to be WWE. Let's just face facts.
Yeah.
AEW may be in the future, see how it goes. But WWE is the main one. So, yeah, hats off to him. Go for it. I hope you do really well. But I will say that all of the wrestlers that have been released by WWE, including a current fucking release, has put out a statement thanking the WWE and McMahon and Triple H, etc., for the years that he's had in the WWE. And I'm sorry, but he was probably one of the talents that got shat on from a great height.
But at least,
so why would you thank them for that?
He's not burning down that bridge as much as, if you got what I mean. He's still not burning that bridge as much as it might be tempting to do so.
Well, I'm surprised Sami Zayn hasn't been fucking chucked to the curb because he mentioned AEW on a fucking on a WWE fucking show once.
Yeah, but that was for the shock value, and he did get absolutely grilled over that.
Yeah, but AEW wouldn't be bothered about that. It's only Vince because he doesn't want to give them any fucking inclination that they exist.
Or the fact that he doesn't want any of these, any of the other, basically, and we go, oh yeah, I forgot about that turnover. Which you can understand on Vince's side, but at the same time, it's like, if you're not recognising your competition, then you should be.
Yep, you're showing your arrogance again, Vince. Showing your arrogance. But anyway, I say, I've given that verdict. Another thing, the whole return of Edge.
Let me just stop you there for a minute, because I just need to jump on to SmackDown quickly, just so we can cover it. And I want to hold off Edge for a minute. Just for a minute. And this will be a quick segment in regard to SmackDown. SmackDown itself, the wrestling, good, fine, no worries. The biggest issue I have with SmackDown is, a lot of it's re-fucking matches. Really?
Rematches.
Oh, who is, Bianca Belair, who's she feuding with again? Oh, that's right, Bayley. Who is Seth Rollins having a match against or feuding against?
Oh wait, Cesaro.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens again? Oh, I thought you were against Cesaro.
No. I was saying Cesaro, but I'm just saying who's Kevin Owens got now. Oh, that's right, Sami Zayn. And who's Big E got? Apollo Crews.
Yep. So we're back to square one again, and look who Roman Reigns is now going to be feuding with again.
Edge. And the only fresh match that was on that entire damn card was Jimmy Uso.
Ugh.
And what made it even worse is, I'm with Roman, and blah, 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 but Paul Heyman has his doubts and everything, and he's setting up a match between him and, if he's meant to be working with Roman, well, let's put him in a match against Dolph Ziggler. Excuse me?
Wow.
What? Why is he against Dolph Ziggler? Doesn't make sense. Agreed?
Oh, God. I just, it's rotting my brain.
There's too many rematches, and then all of a sudden, we get to the final segment, which is, as you said, Edge makes his big return. Roman Reigns comes out, cuts a promo. I've beaten everybody, blah, 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 blah. Edge walks out, starts brawling with him, a bit of back and forth. Edge spears him, looks like he's about to hit the concerto. For Jimmy make the save, even though, Jay's suddenly gone missing. No idea why.
Does anybody care?
And then Edge spears Jimmy through the barricade. Gets up. Right. Roman is up the ramp, looking on Edge. When Edge looks at the camera, where you at, Roman Reigns? I'm right here. Come at me. I'm right here. Edge, turn 90 degrees to the fucking right and you'll see him.
Oh, well, this is what I'm saying, though. It's crap because Cesaro should have been the man to take him down. And now, because Edge has made his return, Cesaro somehow now has found himself back in the mid-card.
And bearing in mind that I wonder how many people who watched Edge make his big return had to Google what it said on his shirt.
Yeah, just don't, because I'm still confused.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you did just hear me say Google it.
Yes. Yes, you did hear Matt Burns say to Google it, because even Matt Burns every now and then has to Google things. Don't you, Matt Burns?
No, I'm not afraid to admit that. Not afraid to admit that if I don't know it and it's something like, what was written on Edge's shirt and I'm wondering what it means. Research.
Anyway,
research.
I think we need to sway away from WWE right now this very second because it's hurting my brain. It really, really is.
Oh, we're not done yet.
With the amount of things that are wrong with it, the whole brand itself is ridiculous.
And we have a reason why.
Now, this is the main culprit. Have you got the quote in front of you?
Oh, no. We're not going to get to the quote yet because I just want to get to the releases first. Because we've had more releases. And I'm not even going to go down the queue list or anything. Killian Dane's one of them, which is why I mentioned Nikki Cross's Fowler.
Yeah.
And many others, and big chunk of them from NXT. And you know it's bad when the 205 Live crew have been reduced to 6 members, and one of them is the Brian Kendrick, who is now a producer for that show.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, let's have a 6-man tag.
They can't.
We can't because then we'd have no other matches for the fucking show.
No. They can't because the 6th one is now a producer who's retired from wrestling.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
That's what I mean.
Shouldn't it be now that they just shut it down 205? Like, as much as I like the matches on there sometimes, like when Cedric Alexander was coming through the ranks, I really enjoyed watching him.
Yeah,
but now that 205's just been reduced to like a puddle of shit.
Yep.
Maybe it's time to shut it down and just try and focus on the main brands.
Yep.
But anyway,
But anyway, out of all these releases, there's one release that we want to focus upon.
Yeah, but can I just mention this first? Because I'm pretty sure, didn't Killian Dane shoot himself in the foot?
How?
Because I'm about in saying, I don't know if it was Killian Dane, but somebody went to AEW,
Right.
pretty much spoiled the results of the matches, went back to WWE, and now WWE have released him again, so now he's got nowhere to go.
I don't think that was Killian Dane, was it?
I don't know. I'm not 100%. I don't think it was. I did read it on Facebook earlier, and it was actually from quite a reliable source, so I don't know. I'll have to try and find it again, and I'll cover it next week.
Yeah, we'll cover it next week. But anyway, now let's get on to this this one person we want to decide to talk about. And the scary thing about it is, it's not even a wrestler.
No, it's not. It's actually something that we complain about every week.
Yes. This was someone who had just recently got hired by WWE as well. They were a new WWE creative writer.
Yay! And she didn't even manage to get her foot through the door until she got fucking booted straight back out of it again.
Pretty much, which would be... And I apologise if I butcher this name.
I wouldn't, because she deserves it, I think.
Kenny Mobley is the name. And to make it even worse, do you know the stuff that we're going to be talking about right now? In regards to her being a WWE writer. This was during a segment of when she was on a podcast, which I believe is called Asian Not Asian Podcast.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the whole deal of being hired and everything. And some of the replies that were being provided by Mobley.
Yeah.
Wow. How do I put this? It's almost like they wanted to be fired.
Yeah. I think you know something, I reckon it was. They just realised what kind of shit show they're getting themselves into and the fact that they know fuck all.
Oh, yeah. Right. Where do we begin with this? And I'm just trying to think, where do we even begin this? Because bear in mind, they are a active stand-up comedian that has actually been featured on Stand Up NBC, where they were finalists. Vice and Vice News, The Tonight Show, the 2020 Bet Awards, and much, much more. She can now label herself as a WWE writer, supposedly has understandings of the WWE audience, demographic and psychographic, really. A plus but not required when being hired as one of the qualifications. And another related qualification is professional TV staff experience in drama and comedy a plus, but an understanding of pro wrestling is not required. Excuse me? They're writing for wrestling, but they don't need to have any pro wrestling knowledge.
Well, this is what brings us to our next point. The next point being is that in wrestling, there is such thing as called psychology. And if you don't understand that psychology, and you don't understand your audience, and you don't understand the gimmicks that you are working with, and the storylines that you could potentially put out, then why are you applying for the job?
I'm getting it.
And why is the company that is very big on, well, used to be very big on kayfabe, why is it all of a sudden that they're hiring these fucking cotwombles? Why?
Now, a lot of you are sitting there thinking Irvine's being harsh. We haven't even got to the rage-inducing stage yet.
No, we haven't.
Because bear this in mind.
Enter Mr. Ashley. And no, I'm not talking about Richard Ashley. Never gonna give you up. No,
Never gonna love you. No, we're not rickrolling you.
No.
Although that could have been rage-inducing.
Very.
Nope, it's not that one. It's not the one that you thought it was. No.
That sounded like you were blowing a raspberry.
No. Anyway, let's just continue because we've got a lot to cover right in this next segment.
No, you're the one that's waffling on. We could make this very quick and very simple.
Let's get down to it. Basically, they were hired because they just had some TV knowledge and were supposedly a comedian. Now, do you think it's funny when you're on a podcast and you're saying, "Oh, I'm part of the Raw team, and there's a Raw and SmackDown, and we've got this WWE champion. What's his name? Oh yeah, Bobby. What was it? Bobby Ashley? Oh, I mean, or is it Bobby Lashley? Oh, I don't know.
It was just some big black dude.
And no, I'll get the quotation now. So
yeah,
I am.
Please get the fucking big quotation.
I am on
please.
the Monday. I am on the Monday Night Raw team. Mobily revealed. So there's Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and the people I know that are on it are Bobby. His name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley, and I should really know that. He's like this giant black guy, and he and the people who are part of his crew, I know that they are called, or at least as of last year, they called themselves the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business. They wear suits and they're like, we're cool.
That sounds like the most idiotic, childish fucking thing to ever say about WWE wrestlers and generally the wrestling business.
And
that is just not only just insulted Bobby Lashley, it's insulted where he's come from where he started to where he is now. It's also pissed all over his career and pissed all over the fucking brand that he's fucking currently dominating. Seriously, Vince, what were you thinking?
We haven't even finished yet. And by the way, just so you know that you're sitting there thinking, we're just pulling this out of air. We're actually gotten this source from, I believe it's WrestlingInc.com. Just so you know. Yes, I know. We actually just saw somebody.
Yes, we did. Again.
Anyway, but the point being is, what makes it even more annoying is it didn't end there.
No, it didn't.
At one point, Mobley was shown a photo of current WWE Performance Center coach and former WWE Tag Team Champion Scotty 2 Hottie. She admitted she had never heard of him and commented how she would feel very bad if she got beat up by someone who looked like the former member of Too Cool.
It just fucking hurts my brain and my soul. Ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong, Scotty 2 Hottie had one of the worst finishes in WWE history.
But he did actually have a role.
Alongside Wade Barrett. So, it just doesn't compute.
Although he did play an interesting zombie recently.
No, please don't. Let's not go there. Thank you very much. He's bad enough as it is.
He's part of it. But anyway, let's continue because... By the way, can you remember when we said when it rains, it can pause?
It never rains, but it pours.
Right, fair enough. You thought we were done with the 2 strikes against this person? No, there's a 3rd.
And what is the 3rd strike, Mr. Burns?
I went on a date with this guy, and and don't you feel like he effectively said, don't you feel like you're diminishing your dignity writing for WWE? And I was like, I'm getting paid to do the thing. that I've been working on for 8 years, and this is twice, or no, this is 3 times what I make at my non-profit job. So yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Which means 3 strikes and you're out. I'm not into fucking baseball, but I'm pretty familiar with that quote.
Yeah.
3 strikes and you're... Now, if she couldn't have got fired off the first one, which I think she would have anyway,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the second one would have put a nail in the coffin. The third one, really, really now has put the creative writing team into dispute because Vince now is going to be looking at the chopping board, and he's also going to be looking at putting their necks on the lines if they can't sort it out.
And to make it even more funny, they got released quite quickly, and supposedly Mobley is also a host of a weekly show that is on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. in America on Instagram Live, which I believe is called Make Yourself Cry. I think he just done that.
I was just about to say, well, congratulations, you've just fucking lost your nice big salary. Fuck you.
Also host a Love About Town podcast. Just, what the fuck?
I just, like I say, I just don't think it's right. I don't think that their hiring process is very good at all. If anything, they need to be hiring ex-wrestlers that would be good at doing this because they understand the creative writing, they understand the psychology of wrestling, they understand the storytelling is important. Majority of the wrestlers, if not all, know how to tell a story. It's just they are given absolute shit to work with, so ever likely, majority of the time, it just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Don't make fucking sense.
And to make matters even worse, you know it's bad when I'm sitting here thinking to myself, can we just go back to the times when Edge and Booker T feuded over a shampoo commercial?
Or go back to the times when Edge had sex with Lita on a bed, live, on an episode of Raw.
Oh no!
In the middle of the ring.
No. We're not touching that subject.
He already did. Giggity.
No, we're not touching that subject because I believe that also caused a lot of backstage heat across the board. And I believe even John Cena was against the idea because it was quite degrading to somebody. But we won't go there.
Yeah, all Vince can do is just claim it was different times. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, seeing as I just mentioned Booker T. Nice little segue there.
You're gonna talk about his fucking Soldier of Fortune bollocks now, aren't you?
No. Basically, Booker T lost his class action lawsuit against Activision in regards to his likeness being on Call of Duty, which I believe was Call of Duty 3. He thought it was an imitation of his G.I. Bro character. The case has been thrown out and just said, nope, see you later. And moving on.
Goodbye, Booker T.
And no, if you notice, we didn't even mention the room of candles. Oh, damn it!
You just did. Why do you hurt yourself like this?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Anyway, we need to move on now because it's getting late.
It is. Now, a lot of that just feels like we just rambled on and aimed at WWE. It's a lot for us to deal with. It is.
It's a lot. It's been a lot to process this week. It really, really has.
Oh, and
I literally feel dumbfounded.
There is one more piece of news that we only found out recently, and it's to do with SummerSlam.
No.
Do you know what date it's on? And I don't mean the date.
It's moving to a fucking Saturday.
Which is... okay, why?
It would make more sense. It would make more sense for WWE to have their main events hosted on a Saturday. It really, really would, because it's never worked at Sunday. It's on too late, and people are at work early Monday morning in the UK and across Europe. So
Yep.
why the fuck would they want to stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, or if you're on WrestleMania weekend, fucking 6-7 o'clock in the fucking morning,
And never go sleep
and never go sleep just to watch that bollocks
for a whole week.
for a whole? Yeah, exactly. So it just doesn't make sense. So
Makes sense.
So they've moved it to a Saturday, which for me is more of a comfortable day.
Yeah.
To watch it, not a
Anyway.
Sunday night. Fucking
Correct.
idiots.
Anyway, anything else you want to cover?
Yes, I just want to put a pin in this subject.
Oh no, we're done with it. We're done with WWE.
Yeah, I've just covered it. I just covered it with a pin.
Yeah, we're done. Move on. Next subject, please, if you've got one.
Well, I think that we need to be moving on into the territory of epic wrestling moments and non-wrestling topics.
There's one thing I want to just cover. Ladies and gentlemen, just because, don't fret over AEW. It is returning back to its regular scheduled programming of Wednesday night. It just did do a Saturday night special, but that's due to special reasons, I believe, which was unique in its own right, because a lot of people have been sitting there saying, well, it's been on Friday, Saturday, what's going on? We don't know when it's going to be staying. It will be returning back to its rightful scheduled programming of on Saturday.
Yeah, because that
Not
was
Saturday, Wednesday.
Wednesday. Because it has been a bit confusing. Everyone's been dead confused about where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Or when it's going to be. So,
It will be returning back to its scheduled programming. Just to point
and
that out.
we literally have nothing to say about AEW at the moment because there's nothing of any warrant to cover, and they're pretty much spot on at the moment.
Doing well.
Yeah, they're doing well. So that's where we want them to be. Got good competition. And they're exposing the weaknesses of the WWE.
And as much as someone might turn around and say, it's all ex-WWE wrestlers, so fucking what? At least they're doing something with them.
Well, I'm not being funny, but WWE currently at the moment is full of TNA, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, NXT UK, Ring of Honor. How fucking deep do you want this to go? So don't contradict yourself by saying the former WWE fucking superstars, because WWE is full of previous superstars from other companies. It kind of works both ways. So stop being a ballend and talk fucking sense.
Correct. And of course, we're not even going to get onto the whole fucking Eve Marie situation with the name Drop. No, I'm going to touch that one. Anyway, we'll probably say that for next week.
Yeah, just say it till
that
next
one
week.
would be rage-inducing. But anyway, where would you like to go?
Epic wrestling moment. I understand you have one.
Yeah, which we already briefly mentioned earlier, which would be a certain SummerSlam match between Hogan and Shawn Michaels.
Could it be the potential overselling from Shawn Michaels?
Yes.
And the reasons behind it were?
The reasons behind it. Right. Originally, did you know that was meant to be a 3-match feud?
No.
It was originally meant to be a 3-match feud, but just before it came off, Hogan turned around and goes, that ain't happening. I'm not losing to that scrawny little runt. And basically politics his way into making a single match where he wins. Sound familiar?
Wow. You mean Hulk Hogan made a fucking self-conscious decision to not put over another? Yeah. So, that doesn't sound like him at all.
No, it doesn't. WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shawn just went, yeah, okay, no worries, I'm fine. He's a legend, of the wrestling business. But then decided to oversell the crap out of it. And you can see Hogan's face throughout the entire match, as if to say, "Fucking stop overselling." When overselling is done right at the right time.
Yeah, overselling is done at the right. Don't get me wrong. I know of someone that is very, very fucking terrible at overselling, and it's very frustrating. So I can only imagine how much fucking rage was running through Hulk Hogan's mind, but at the same time, he must realise that he fucking deserved it.
Oh, just what made it even more funny? Even the big boot sell. Did you see it?
I remember stuff vaguely.
What made it even worse is the fact that he big booted him. Shawn Michaels bounced somehow from the bounce, got back up, run round and flipped and landed straight into the leg drop position. And you just hear Hogan like to say, "Oh, that happened."
Oh,
I'm just now. I'm looking at it, and all I heard when he just paused and just pulled the certain faces, all I heard was Scooby Doo coming out of his mouth.
Oh, it's one of them matches, isn't it? You have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, it is. And what makes it so funny is this works on both ends of the scale. It works on both ends of the scale because it's a fail because, my God, that's not how a match should be running. But it's an epic because of how absolutely batshit crazy and comical it is.
I'm not just saying this as well, but Shawn Michaels oversold it because Hulk Hogan was being a bit of a dick.
Pretty much.
I'm not being funny, but Hulk Hogan is always fucking renowned for his no-sell.
Yeah.
You know, when he hulks up.
Yeah.
That's pretty much technically a no-sell, really, isn't it?
It is a no-sell.
A bit like the Ultimate Warrior. He was the same.
Yeah. Especially with punishing Triple H, but we won't get onto that.
Yeah.
But the real funny thing about that entire situation is the fact that in that match, you got the man who never sells against the man who's selling too much.
Oh dear. Recipe for disaster.
It should be that. But good God, if you can't find it funny.
Oh, I still find it funny. I think I might try watch that actually later.
It's definitely one. It's definitely. I would put that on your one to watch list. Definitely, it is something. It's something I believe even Botchamania even covered repeatedly. It is something that everyone's probably shown out. I'm surprised it hasn't even come to the point where you just look at one wrestling thing and it suddenly pops up on YouTube. It's that funny.
Mm.
Are we done? Or did you want to mention?
I think so. Now I'll save my epic wrestling moment for next week. Also, an oversell, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, we shall.
All I can say is that he was blown over.
And maybe he was terrorizing?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I had to.
Terrible joke. Come on.
Let's move on.
Non-wrestling topic.
Non-wrestling topic. Let's just get down to business, and in case, because I know exactly where Colin's probably going to get the hint from. The non-wrestling topic I want to cover this week is classic consoles. Or retro consoles.
Retro.
Or even retro gaming as a whole. Agreed?
It's your topic, mate. I'm game. Ha!
Yeah. See what you did there. But anyway, the point being is, the weird thing about it is, you can't beat a good retro console or retro game. And in case anybody's sitting there saying what is classified as retro and everything. Now, some people could sit there and say, oh, we've got the old Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive, depending on where you are in the world. The Nintendo, the SNES, the Sega Saturn, and everything. But then again, you could even classify PlayStation 1 as retro. Agreed?
Yeah, PlayStation 1s, Sega Saturns, Sega GameCubes, not Sega GameCube, just GameCube.
GameCube, or hell, you could even say the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, which I've still currently got.
Yeah, now a lot of people can sit there and say, oh, well, it's not, it's still quite modern. Really? Do you know how old it is?
It is well over 20 years. It's got to be over 20 years old now.
Exactly. If I'm not mistaken, we're now on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Never mind.
The X Series S, Y, and Z. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, even I question that one.
Yeah, fuck you, Microsoft. Just don't check my internet history.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Well, not quite, but yeah, okay.
Why can I just see a blackmail email coming from Microsoft straight to you?
A blackmail?
Blackmail. He's going to basically email you and basically blackmail you by saying we will make your internet history public.
Oh no, I thought you said that I've been viewing blackmails. I was going to say what?
No.
I was going to say, how did you know? Have you seen my internet history?
I haven't, but no comment on that one, and we're not going to go there.
Nothing like a bit of interracial porn.
Anyway, point being is, in case you want some, is there any games that you can fondly remember playing?
Right. Well, I'm going to start at something. I'm going to start like 80s.
One.
I'm going to start in the 80s. So you had the Commodore 64.
Oof.
So
just don't mention E.T.
I have got fond memories of my mum buying me this console in the 90s and it being absolutely fucking amazing because it came with its own monitor and everything like that. It was absolutely amazing. But I had Terminator 2 on it.
Wow.
And it was fucking ace.
Wow. For me...
Now that was brilliant.
For me, I remember, and someone will probably have to look this up on Google on what the term of phrase I'm referring to. The Specky.
I beg your pardon?
The Specky. 32 Spectrum.
Oh, the Spectrum.
The Spectrum.
For fuck's
Spectrum.
sake.
Or, which was short and abbreviated as to the Specky. I know I'm a gaming nerd.
Yeah,
I'm just a nerd in general. But at the time, when you got all the multicolors, colours that were popping up on the screen, you had to put cassettes in and everything. If you remember them days.
Yes, I remember the days of Shoot the Duck.
Exactly. The point being is, at the time, when you first glanced on video games, it was like, wow, this is amazing. Jump forward from then to now, your mind sort of gets blown. Agreed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because think back then, would you, back then, ever think we would be in... we'd have the consoles that we've got today.
Back then, early 90s, I would have thought not. I would have definitely thought not. But late 90s, when your introduction with the PlayStation, yeah.
Then that's when you started, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But before then, you wouldn't. Because bear in mind, for me, the most classic console I can genuinely remember mostly having and still do to this day would be the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, I
Or
was
should
just
I,
about to say.
or should I say the Sega Mega Drive 2 version?
No, I had my favorite consoles I ever had was I had both Mega Drives
Yeah.
because I had the already inbuilt game of Alex the Kid.
Way.
That was amazing. Although, if you get dead far all the way close to the end, and then you fucking die, and then you have to start all over fucking again, because there was no saves back then.
Yep.
You know, some of the games, the saves were actually in the fucking cartridge with a battery.
If you remember, Alex the Kid also even had a little glitch in it, where if you get past a certain bit without a certain thing, you'd have to start from the beginning again.
Oh, yes. Now, if you want rage-inducing, that is the game for you. But I had both Mega Drives, Sega Master System, and then I went from pretty much nothing until about 90. When was the PlayStation come out? Was it 97? 96, 97?
I think so.
96, 97?
Yep, I think it was. And the scary thing about it is, what makes it even weirder is a lot of people sit there and saying, Sega, the PlayStation was the only CD game console. It wasn't actually. Because if I remember, there was like the Sega Saturn, you also got the Mega CD or Sega CD days, of course. But the point being is, them were some great console days. And if I'm not mistaken, with the Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, it didn't just have the Mega CD or Sega CD, it also had the 32X edition on it.
Mm-hmm.
There was absolutely loads that you could do on, and from time to time, and I believe there's a few YouTube channels where they've done comparisons of certain games, and there's one game series I will never forget because just the actual sound, the music of the game was well ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what game series I'm going to be saying?
Maybe, I don't know, really. Sonic, maybe?
Streets of Rage.
Yes. Yes. Streets of fucking hell, man. I love that game, I did.
Yeah. Okay, they have now got a fourth. About time. We've had to wait long enough for it, even though
would you say that it's been many years?
It's been many years. And
many years.
And what makes it even worse is the reason why we didn't have the fourth, which I find idiotic. Because Sega, the president of Sega America, didn't recognise Streets of Rage as a series, didn't know what it was, and thought it was if he doesn't know what it is, it's garbage.
Well, clearly that man is a bellend.
Yeah.
But anyway, Streets of Rage, amazing game. I loved it. Especially when I was growing up. It's just one of them games that you just keep on playing. It doesn't matter how many times you died and started from the beginning.
Yeah.
You always found it more entertaining the more that you played it.
And
a bit like Sonic, really.
Yeah, no. And oddly enough, I do agree with you on that. And even though, if I'm not mistaken, if anybody did actually play the original Sonic 3, I wonder if anybody noticed the fact that when they attached it to the Sonic and Knuckles at a game, some of the music songs changed.
Yeah.
I wonder why. It's not like any of the songs sounded like any Michael Jackson tracks. Oh, wait.
Oh, dear.
They were a bit close. They weren't exact, but they were. Trust me when I say this. When you re-listen to that soundtrack, the original, you're going to be sitting there thinking of certain Michael Jackson songs now, and you're going to be sitting there thinking, "Wow, how have I not noticed that?" It's surprising. Agreed?
I don't remember it myself. I'll have to look at it.
Just look it up.
But anyway, I've got another one here, and it is actually a cartoon I'm going to be referencing in the future, so just make sure you listen out for it. It is basically, I had a Game Boy. One of the original Game Boys, not one of the modern ones, not the
you mean
Slims.
the proper green backlight?
Yeah, not the coloured version, none of that crap.
Yeah.
I had a proper Game Boy. It came with a Booster Boy.
Hey.
Which was absolutely fucking massive.
Yeah.
I had several games for it, and my favourite game on it was actually based off a cartoon called Earthworm Jim.
Wow.
And I absolutely loved that game. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. But then again, Earthworm Jim also had a very popular Sega Genesis game, or, Sega Mega Drive game.
Yeah.
1 and 2. We won't talk about the 3D one.
No, please don't. Probably because his head looked like a willy.
And the fact that I believe it was on the N64, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being in Clay Fighter, which didn't look right.
No, did not look right.
And he also did have a popular cartoon series, didn't he? Which was absolutely hysterical.
Oh yes, Earthworm Jim was fucking brilliant. But yeah, that was one of the best games I had on it. Don't get me wrong, I had a couple other games like your usual Tetris and
Mario.
Mario's and what have you. It's really, really good, but I've never really been a Nintendo kind of person. I've always been Sega.
The one question I will say this to you is how did you manage well with the fact that you always needed a light to be able to play on the original Game Boy?
Yes, exactly, and that's where the Booster Boy came in.
Yeah.
Because the Booster Boy had like a magnifying glass that folded over the top of the Game Boy, and it had a light on as well.
Yeah.
So you could turn the light on or off. It had booster for the sound as well. It was just brilliant. It was just, honestly, I really, really do miss the simpler times, as I put it.
And bear this in mind that both Nintendo and Sega, and this is a hidden fact for you, made an absolute mess of one mistake that ended up costing them the number one spot for consoles.
Ah, yes. Yes, the whole Sony and fucking Sega and Nintendo debacle.
Well, mostly Nintendo and Sony. Oh boy.
Yeah, let's put a CD drive onto it. Oh no, we don't really like that. We want to stick to cartridges.
Yeah, and do you know why that was?
Because they're fucking idiots.
No, it wasn't just that. It's because Nintendo got greedy because they were the ones in control of the cartridges, and they couldn't. They didn't want to manufacture. They didn't want to use an outside source for the CDs because they were already manufacturing the cartridges. And on Sega's side, they just didn't know what to exactly do with Sega. So,
and the other thing is that if they should have learnt one thing, that the N64 was a big, massive pile of shit.
It had the odd occasional, okay.
GoldenEye was one of the best games on it.
Anything else?
Hands down.
Apart from GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
I can't think of anything else.
Move on.
Exactly. But speaking of retro games, though,
It makes you
one
more
that
No,
we've completely overlooked
I'm just
before
going
you
to point this
carry
out.
on.
I know, it's to do with the N64, that says.
Go on.
And here's a scary fact. Bear this in mind, Final Fantasy VII. Do you remember how many CDs it was?
I do believe, was it 2 or 3?
It was about 2 or 3. Do you know how many it would have been to fit it all onto cartridges?
Oh, God, mate, you're talking about fucking 10 or 12.
It's over 20, actually. And to make it even worse, they couldn't even do the whole change the cartridge without erasing the save.
Exactly. See, N64 was a pile of shit.
Oops.
Oh, I even hated the controllers as well. They just didn't make any fucking sense.
It was all over the place. It was just... We've got a pad here, we've got a thumb thing in the middle on the third button.
We've even got an extension pack where you can make it vibrate. Oh, wait, PlayStation's already got that fucking device put in their controllers.
And DualShock 2.
And, wow. Just, wow.
Was were you aiming for a proper wow, or was that an Owen Wilson? Wow.
Wow. Wow. Definitely an Owen Wilson.
Definitely.
So, yeah, it just the mind boggles.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking when they bought that out. It was just a massive rush job from day one, really. But I want to go way back again.
Yeah.
To the days of Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Do you remember another certain retro game?
I can see where you're going.
And I mean, this is like super retro game that was actually in competition with Streets of Rage.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be Golden Axe.
Yes.
Now that was massively
and
popular.
Oh yeah, the first and second game, amazing. I felt a little bit sorry for the third one because my God, that was rushed.
It was rubbish as well.
And it wasn't the best, and if I'm not mistaken, it was mostly aimed towards the Japan market.
Mm-hmm.
And bearing in mind that they did end up having a sequel to the original series, which was The Revenge of Death Adder, which was only on arcades. Then they also had the Golden Axe Fighter game, which that was during when they were doing the whole fighting thing series because Street Fighter got popular. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't hear much more. We got the occasional, let's try and get Golden Axe go into the 3D realm. They attempted it.
And it just was never the same.
Boy.
The only way they could make a Golden Axe game now is if they made it like Skyrim or something like that.
No. They did actually eventually get... Right. They made a remake of the first one, which that version of it we'll not speak of. And then they did do a Golden Axe 4, I believe. I can't remember. All I'll just say to you is it was a 3D realm version of it, but you know it was butchered and bad when it basically almost killed the series. Well, basically it did.
Yeah, pretty much.
However, somebody did end up trying to make a 2D, a 2.5 version of it, which you can actually look up now, but the only problem is it got pretty much put on the shelves and stopped because this was a fan-made game and Sega turned around and said, nope, we don't want that anymore. We won't put a stop to it. Fucking why? Why?
Yeah, poor decisions all around.
And if anybody wants to know what the game actually looked like, because I believe they only had one stage, just looked up Golden Axed. Yeah, because it got axed. Yeah, I know.
Wah, wah, wah.
But there is still some fan games out there for the entire series, which even does some prequel stuff and everything. And when I say that you can tell there's a massive fandom for it, wow.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But for the sake of listening to you rant on about it and waffle on about it for the next fucking 3 hours,
No, it's done.
let's move on, because the only
I think
game
that's a
that I
wrap
want
up.
to, the only game that I'm going to say just to close it out, and it's part of one of the best series ever, is Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation. Just too
Enough
good.
said.
Enough said.
Enough
Don't want to
said.
fucking go into it
You
too
don't.
much because
It's very meta.
it is. It's just like one of
And
the first games I think of.
And don't make it even more funny. What I even loved is the fact that they even had sort of a hidden stop people from actually trying to copy the game. Did you know that?
No.
No. I'm
What
sorry
are you
for
on
the
about now?
spoiler here. Sorry for the spoiler here. And this I've got to give because this is absolutely genius from Konami and Hideo Kojima. Do you remember at one point when you had to contact Meryl?
Yes.
How did you get the codec? Without looking it up?
Well, you just look for the actual code channel, don't you?
Nope. They actually give it you.
What, the first? Which one are you on about now? Are you on
The
about
first
the first one?
The very
The
first
first
one.
one. The first one for Meryl.
Yeah.
Meryl's one of the very first people that you talk to.
No. She's one of the first ones you meet on the mission. But she doesn't give you her codec. She didn't actually give you her codec.
No, she doesn't give it you, but it's already actually in the fucking codec index.
It actually isn't. In the
Well,
original
I
version.
fucking found it. I
No.
remember.
No. Would you like... No, you might have actually had the updated version. And the original version, you didn't get it. If you kept trying to look for it and you kept having to ask one of your, I believe you were trying to get hints, they'd say, look on the back of a box or something. And you'd be running around like a mad maniac, right? And you know what the pure genius thing about it was? Can you remember the original game box?
Oh, yeah, it was on the fucking box.
It's on the back of the box.
Yeah, it's on the back of the box. If you look hard enough, it's fucking on the back of the box. On one of the screenshots.
That's what I mean. That was the only clue you had. That was the only way to find it. If you wanted to outright find it. Unless you were an idiot and went to individually. I'm not saying if I know anybody who did that.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I went to do that, but I just did it at random, and it was a massive fluke. It was a massive fucking fluke that I found it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to admit this now.
But that wasn't the only one that I found, though. I found fucking another one as well.
Oh, I know. I went through it individually.
Oh, man, I bet that was fucking painstaking.
That was painstaking. And then to have a friend tell me it's actually on the back of the case. I almost cried. And then we've got... And then you got the whole Mantis boss.
Yeah.
I won't say any more on that. But the way to beat him, pure genius. And the stuff he did with the memory card.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Oh, what a way.
Switching the fucking ports.
Not just that. Did you also know if you had any other Konami games, you'd actually mention it?
Yes, I do know that because it freaked me out.
Yeah, because he actually makes you think he is actually in your mind. Which is genius.
It is pretty good,
Genius.
to be fair. That was one of the genius bits about it. But anyway, I think that's a wrap up now because we're waffling on.
I agree with you, and I agree with you. And if anybody who does want to hear more on them sort of gaming tips or anything, or just wants us to talk more about gaming, messages, because who knows, we could always properly, maybe even bring back a segment, or, probably have it where instead of it being wrestling, we could even do a TBT Games Week.
Yep.
Agreed?
Yeah, agreed.
So, with that, I'm going to say that's a wrap up on the topics. Agreed? We'll move on, and let's just get straight down to the plugs. Well, I say plugs. We've got a links page for that, and everything. Check out all the links that are on the that we've got on the website, which is our website is www.theburningtruthuk.com.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was just there thinking to myself, please don't balls that up.
Yes.
Because I will never hear the end of it again.
Yes.
We, of course, just to point this out, we cannot be held responsible for any control of external links. We have no control of it. We, of course, always recommend you check out our merchandise page, because what can you do there?
Buy my fucking merch.
You can check out our merch and, of course, support us, which does actually go a long way, and we greatly appreciate it.
We certainly do.
We certainly do. And genuinely, we, of course, also on social media, be it either Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We haven't been on TikTok in a long while, agreed? But we are on there.
I was about to say, I haven't made any content for quite a while.
But we are on there, and we do glance at it from time to time and come across the lovely hidden gem now and again.
Uh-huh.
But if anybody wants to listen to any past episodes of The Burning Truth, we have, of course... I'm pausing for a minute now, so I don't balls this one up. We, of course, have the website. We have Spreaker. We have Spotify. We have iTunes. We, of course,
do we have...
I'm getting to that one, which is Google Podcasts.
Do we have Diesel?
No, we have Deezer. And we, of course, have Amazon Music and many other external sources.
Not internal, because that would be invasive.
I like it.
Yeah, I fucking heard you.
Anyway. Say anything, really.
Yes.
Really. Anyway, let's continue. We're, of course, going to get to the mental health segment. Would you care to start it off, please?
Yay! Are we doing mental health?
Mental health.
Ladies and gentlemen, just remember this. It is okay to be not okay, and asking for help is never a sign of weakness.
And in doing so, you can end up finding out that there's more care for you than you could ever know. And even from people who catch you off guard with certain birthday presents.
Yes, them certain enraging birthday presents.
I'm more impressed over that. The more I think about it, I'm more impressed over it.
Well, yeah, it did kind of upset your mental health for about a good 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
I wouldn't say it upset me mental health. It was just, I was just in shock.
Exactly. Come on. Anyway, keep going.
Of course, we always recommend everyone to stay, always to never compare your behind the scenes to other people's greatest hits. Quoted from Tom Campbell of Cultaholic.
Congratulations.
We, of course, always recommend you to make yourself a priority once in a while. It's not selfish. It is necessary. If you could be anything in this world right now, more than ever, please be more kind. And, of course, What is the number one rule of Progress Wrestling, the burning truth, and in general life?
Don't be a dick. Or don't be a filthy dick.
Especially that. And of course...
Nonsified.
You've ruined that song for me.
Nonsified. Even though when he doesn't get it.
Anyway. We, of course, also to quote Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. And no, I'm not going to ask you to say the full name. You already won that.
Oh, I had it on my head in my head then.
I'm not going to ask you.
Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan.
You see, he's already got it.
Boom, baby!
He's already got it.
And no, I didn't have to fucking Google it.
And can you remember the third person?
Oh, I've just had it in my fucking head, you bastard! Absolute fucking bastard!
And that's what you call a receipt.
No, wait, I've got it. Rufus.
Damn it!
Yes! In your face! In your face!
That's what she said.
That's come in my face. Oh, no! Oh!
No, we're not going to go there.
Woman, you turn me on with your big Babylons.
Anyway, we're going to have to go now because, my God, this episode has been an absolute... It has been an absolute pleasure doing this episode. It is one that really did break me. And the reason why we ended up going a lot longer than we did because of someone's birthday surprise 2 days early. What?
Yeah, but I think it's just the right timing.
I've heard of surprising somebody, but that's how you catch someone off guard, catch them off 2 days early. And I'm just going to be giving this, and this is not a sarcastic clap. This is a genuine clap.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what an STD doesn't sound like.
And I'm just going to say this as well. You win.
Woohoo! Guess what? That is twice you've had to say, I win.
But you probably noticed that the fact that I didn't hesitate on this one because that was...
Well deserved.
It's... well deserved.
Do you remember that time that you said to me, at least I'm not the person that sits there going, I win. And then I offered my rebuttal by saying that I do it in bed also. Or I do it after sex.
But anyway, the point being is
win!
To sit there and say, you know, to say it was that epic, it was that amazing, it's an understatement. It caught me off guard. I didn't even know how to react, how to even respond. Part of you's got me wishing that you wish I had a video camera on me just to see me jaw hit the damn floor.
Yep. Now, every single time that you need a giggle, you won't watch that video.
No, I'm going to be watching that video because it's that impressive. It's
that impressive that you can't help but keep talking about it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you create memories.
Pretty much. And that's how you catch somebody off complete guard. So, with that, bear in mind that next week I will be 34.
Better ask Vince Russo that.
Shove off. Hang on. I just twigged into something. I just twigged into why he just said 35 now.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me to confirm my birthday this week.
Did I know?
In fact, it was yesterday.
Did I know?
You bastard.
Took you a while, but we got there in the end.
You bastard. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Matt Burns. With the special guest of Vince Russo.
Oh yeah, with a special guest of Vince Russo and also Stewie Griffin.
Of course.
Ooh, cool whip.
Oh, fuck off with that. Don't get me started on that one.
Hey Burns, why are you so cruel?
Say cool.
Cool.
Say whip.
Whip.
Why are you putting the effort on the whip?
Cool whip.
Anyway, can we just wrap it up now for this week? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to be just now thinking they're dragging it out.
Oh yeah, we're dragging it out. Dragging it out all right.
And that's what she said. So, I'll start again. I've been Matt Burns.
And I've been Vince Russo's best friend. I have been James Irvine.
That he
Remember
has.
it. Savor that moment. Embrace it. Touch it.
Of course. And with that, thank you for listening to The Burning Truth. We'll catch you next week at our regular scheduled programming. Until then, stay safe. Catch you later. It's been emotional.
Goodbye.